Dim the gaslights. Settle into the velvet parlor chair. The 19th century was an age of steam, steel, and startling invention, but it was also an age haunted by death. Welcome to Infinity Cast, where we peer into the static between worlds. Tonight, we're investigating Séance science, the Victorian era's strange and often terrifying attempts to build a machine that could talk to the dead. I'm your host, Vesper Thorne, and joining me to operate this spiritual apparatus is the ever-incisive Nico Ardent.
It's a pleasure to be here, Vesper, though the air in the studio feels heavy tonight. It's fascinating, isn't it? While inventors were building telegraphs to send messages across continents, another group of pioneers was trying to build a telegraph to send messages across the veil.
Exactly. This wasn't just about superstition, Nico. This was the birth of paranormal technology. The Victorians saw the world being explained and conquered by science, so they applied that same logic to the afterlife. They wanted empirical proof. They wanted a repeatable experiment. They wanted a device.
And the earliest device was often the furniture itself. Think of table tipping or table turning. It wasn't just a parlor game. For believers, the table was a kind of spiritual seismograph. 1 knock for no, 2 for yes. It was a binary code, a crude communication system for receiving data from an unknown source.
They even created more specialized hardware. Spirit trumpets, long conical horns often made of aluminum that would levitate in the dark of the séance room. They weren't for the medium to shout through. They were supposedly amplifiers, designed to collect and focus the faint whispering voices of the spirits themselves, like a cosmic hearing aid.
But the Holy Grail, the most compelling piece of data, came from a brand new technology: photography. In 1861, a Boston engraver named William Mumler took a self-portrait and was shocked to find a second transparent figure in the developed image, what he claimed was the ghost of his deceased cousin.
And so, spirit photography was born. Suddenly the camera was more than a machine for capturing light. It was an instrument that could see beyond the visible spectrum. Skeptics cried foul, pointing to simple double exposure techniques. But for the grieving and the hopeful, this was the ultimate proof. The machine, they argued, could not lie. It was capturing a ghost in its gears.
And this is where it gets truly strange. The attempt to apply the scientific method. Respected scientists of the day, like Sir William Crookes, the inventor of the Crookes tube, became obsessed with testing mediums. They would bind them to their chairs, place them in cages, and use complex instruments to measure the temperature drops and faint breezes that accompanied a supposed manifestation.
They were trying to quantify the soul, to measure ectoplasm. It was a bizarre marriage of cold, hard science and the deepest, most profound human hope and fear. They documented everything, treating the séance room like a laboratory.
But the results were always inconclusive. The data was always corrupted. Was it because it was all an elaborate hoax, a tragic deception played on the vulnerable? Or was it because the technology was simply too primitive to capture a signal so faint, so alien?
That's the question that still hangs in the air, as heavy as dust in a sealed room. Were these Victorian inventors and mediums charlatans, or were they the clumsy, fumbling pioneers of a technology we have yet to perfect? The next time you hear a strange voice in the white noise, or see a glitch in a digital photo, just for a second, consider the possibility.
Maybe it isn't a bug in the system. Maybe it's a feature, a ghost in the machine, still waiting for the right frequency.
Until next time, keep listening to the static.